Hello guys, I'm Tom, and today we're going to see what prehistoric piranhas are. Among the most terrifying monsters that modern horror cinema has given us, prehistoric piranhas, scientifically known as Pygocentris nateri, undoubtedly occupy a prominent place in the pantheon of cinematic predators. These creatures are not mere filler antagonists. Their ferocity, instinctive intelligence, and primitive appearance make them genuine horror protagonists. In the films Piranha 3D and its sequel Piranha 3DD, modern reinterpretations of the 1978 classics, directed by Joe Dante, Pygocentris nateri are presented not as laboratory products, but as prehistoric species that have survived hidden for millions of years, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Unlike the original version, where the piranhas were the result of uncontrolled genetic experiments, the modern remakes portray these creatures as natural predators, with instinctive behaviors honed over entire eras. Their threat is so devastating that, according to the plot, they were on the verge of completely exterminating the entire population of Lake Victoria in Arizona. Due to their brutality and effectiveness as hunters, many fans of the genre place them in the same category as other iconic cinematic monsters, from the scarabs in The Mummy to the carnivorous ants in Indiana Jones, as well as elite predators that combine cunning and ferocity at their peak. In this analysis, we will delve into their origin and evolution within the cinematic universe. We will begin by reviewing their first appearance in Piranha 3D, where the initial tension is built through the mystery and unease generated by their movements underwater. Next, we will explore their anatomy and physiology. Their jaws filled with triangular teeth, muscles adapted for sudden bursts of speed, and tough skin capable of withstanding the pressure of deep underground caverns. We will also analyze their instinctive motivations and aggressive behaviors, which are not driven by conscious malice, but by a survival and reproduction impulse perfected by natural selection over millions of years. Finally, we will break down their lethal abilities and, surprisingly, their vulnerabilities, few but significant for anyone daring enough to confront them. According to specialist Goodman, Pygocentris nateri represents the authentic, original piranhas. Paleontological data suggest they are the direct ancestors of modern piranhas, species believed to have gone extinct approximately 2 million years ago. However, these creatures managed to survive in extremely remote and isolated environments in North America, hidden in underwater caves and geological labyrinths formed by tectonic movements and earthquakes. For millennia, these piranhas remained invisible to humanity, developing advanced hunting behaviors and survival strategies that turned them into apex predators within their ecosystems. Their original habitat consisted of a complex of underground caves, full of underwater currents and natural chambers where light never penetrated. There, far from the outside world, they fed on any species trapped within their domain. The absence of natural competitors allowed them to perfect their predatory instincts, becoming relentless hunters. To survive during times of scarcity, they adopted a brutal cycle of hibernation alternated with cannibalism. Only the strongest and most cunning individuals survived each season, leaving visible marks and scars on their bodies as a testament to these survival struggles. The movie's narrative begins with a man peacefully fishing at Lake Victoria, Arizona. An unexpected tremor shakes the lake and opens one of the underground caves where these piranhas had remained hidden for centuries. The resulting whirlpool drags his boat into the darkness, and the creatures devour him instantly, marking the beginning of their lethal expansion across the lake. Their attack is indiscriminate. Fish, birds, and even humans become potential prey for their voracity. The phenomenon quickly attracts the attention of a team of seismologists and geologists, who, along with Sheriff Julie, decide to investigate the fissures emerging from the lakebed. Novak, one of the scientists on the team, suggests that the cracks could lead to an ancient prehistoric lake, based on seismic records and unusual data collected during their studies. They decide to conduct an underwater exploration, equipped with cameras and sensors, venturing into the depths of an ecosystem that has not seen human light for millennia. During the expedition, divers Paula and Sam discover something unsettling: yellowish bubbles attached to underwater plants. Upon closer examination, they realize these are Pygocentris nateri eggs, confirming the species' existence and active reproduction. However, before they can alert the rest of the team, they are brutally attacked by the piranhas. Sam does not survive, being devoured in seconds, while Paula barely escapes, partially trapped and witnessing the lethal strength and speed of the prehistoric predators. The tension and horror escalate rapidly, making it clear that these creatures are not just movie monsters, but true predators crafted by evolution and fiction to terrify. When Novak plunges into the dark and turbulent waters of the lake in the hope of rescuing his trapped companions, the scene that greets him is nothing short of a palpable nightmare. The only body he manages to recover is Paula's, torn apart and mutilated by the voracious jaws of the creatures. Unwittingly, his heroic attempt also ends up capturing one of the predators, a prehistoric piranha that seems to have emerged straight from a horror story. Sheriff Julie, aware of the gravity of the discovery, suggests taking the strange and dangerous animal to Mr. Goodman. Although he now runs a quiet fish shop, Goodman was not always a mere merchant. In his youth, he dedicated himself to marine biology, and his knowledge of the aquatic world is deep and meticulous. His scientific curiosity is quickly piqued by the creature, eager to unravel its secrets and understand the magnitude of what they have before them. Upon examining the animal, Goodman is both astonished and fascinated. It is a Pygocentris nateri, the legendary original piranha, a predator thought to have been extinct for millions of years. As his eyes trace every detail of the animal's body, he explains, his voice trembling with excitement, that its cannibalistic behavior was not only key to surviving into the modern era, but also made them extraordinarily aggressive. This aggressiveness, he notes, is not arbitrary. It is an evolutionary trait that defines their wild, lethal, and utterly unpredictable nature, explaining the magnitude of the threat they pose. Meanwhile, Julie, Novak, and other officers struggle to evacuate tourists from the lake. Their efforts, however, prove desperately futile. With each rescue attempt, the piranha's violence escalates. In a brutal, almost cinematic attack, they devour and mutilate numerous people, transforming the lake into a true field of horror. Only a small group of young people manages to escape alive, but even then, the tension does not abate. What seemed like the ultimate catastrophe is merely the prelude to something far more terrifying. The creatures that unleashed the chaos were only juveniles. The adults, enormous and colossal, remain hidden beneath the depths, suggesting that the true magnitude of the danger has yet to be revealed. In the sequel, the threat returns with an even more sinister focus. Although the adults do not appear directly, humans attempt to eradicate the piranhas by all means possible. They drain the lake and pour in powerful chemicals, leaving Lake Victoria nearly deserted and devastated. The loss is not only ecological. The human tragedy and the collapse of tourism add a layer of hopelessness to the scene. Yet, nature finds its way. Stripped of their habitat, the piranhas migrate through underground caves, infiltrating lake cross and, at times, even drainage systems, reaching water parks and residential areas, where they wreak new massacres with the same relentless ferocity. As in the first installment, the sequel culminates with a chilling revelation. Goodman confirms his most feared hypothesis. The piranhas have evolved at an accelerated pace, developing the ability to move on land, making them an even more unpredictable threat. The film closes with a terrifying moment. The queen of the piranhas, captured on video by a boy named David, leaps out of the water with brutal force, demonstrating that her power surpasses all expectations and leaving the audience with a sense of absolute horror. After exploring their history and origin, the focus shifts to what truly makes Pygocentrus nateri deadly: their physical appearance, behavior, motivations, abilities, and rare vulnerabilities. Pygocentrus nateri, or original piranhas, are not mere fish. They are the ultimate aquatic monsters. The juveniles, though already intimidating, measure between 30 and 40 centimeters. The adults, however, reach nearly 1 meter in length, transforming into colossal and extraordinarily dangerous predators. Their appearance, though reminiscent of a common fish, is deeply deceptive. Their hard, resilient scales resemble those of agars, providing a natural armor that protects their body while they move with lethal speed. The pointed fins and large webbed spines along their bodies give them an even more exaggerated and terrifying look. But it is the head that truly instills fear. Enormous red eyes that seem to pierce the darkness of the water, incredibly developed nostrils, and sensory organs that function like a radar, detecting even the slightest vibrations. Their mouth, an arsenal of sharp teeth perfectly designed to tear flesh, completes the image of an almost supernatural predator. Every feature of the Pygocentrus nateri is designed for terror. They are predatory creatures built to dominate any aquatic environment, truly monstrous in every sense. At first glance, prehistoric piranhas may seem like simple, evil monsters designed solely to terrify. However, the truth behind their behavior is far more complex. These creatures possess neither conscious intelligence nor morality. They do not understand concepts of right or wrong. Their existence is reduced to two fundamental imperatives: survival and reproduction. Everything they do, every bite, every attack, every hunting maneuver, is driven by these basic biological needs. The ferocity they exhibit is neither gratuitous nor capricious. It is the product of millions of years of evolution marked by cannibalism and extreme competition. This trait, far from being a mere dramatic effect for the film, explains why they attack with such aggression any creature that does not belong to their species, ensuring the survival of their lineage. Pygocentrus nateri are apex predators, nature's conception of absolute hunters in any aquatic ecosystem. Their physical resilience is astonishing. Their scales are nearly impenetrable, their muscles powerful, and their compact, flexible bodies allow them to absorb impacts and attacks that would destroy any other fish. Their jaws, a true machine of destruction, are packed with razor-sharp teeth capable of tearing flesh and bone in seconds. A single bite can rip entire chunks from their prey, and their strength is such that, combining mouth and body, they can penetrate hard materials like concrete, metal, or even reinforced glass on boats. This combination of strength and aggression makes them predators capable of attacking and devouring humans in a horrifyingly fast and brutal manner. In the water, their efficiency as predators is extraordinary. Their specialized sensory organs act as a highly developed detection network. They sense the slightest vibrations, from the flick of a fish's fin to the movement of an unsuspecting swimmer. Their vision is limited, adapted to the dim and dark conditions of lake bottoms, but their sense of smell more than compensates. They can track blood from kilometers away, turning any wound into a deadly trap. Furthermore, they are incredibly fast and agile. They can cover long distances in minutes, and their speed increases dramatically when they detect a food source, adding a devastating element of surprise to their attacks. One of their most chilling characteristics is their extreme adaptability. They are not only aquatic predators, but can also move on land. This is not an evolutionary accident. After chemical attacks and poisoning in the sequel, many of the juveniles survived and developed abilities that make them even harder to eliminate. Their terrestrial mobility, though limited, adds a new dimension of terror, turning them into omnipresent predators capable of stalking even outside the water. Their group hunting strategy elevates the horror to another level, while cannibalism dominates their individual behavior. When organized in groups, they display a surprising instinctive intelligence. They encircle their prey, inflict initial wounds, and once a piranha causes the target to bleed, the rest enter a lethal frenzy. They attack from multiple angles, disorienting their victims while devouring with speed and surgical precision. This cooperative behavior, combined with their speed and strength, turns any encounter with them into a spectacle of pure horror, where escape seems nearly impossible. Despite their fearsome presence, Pygocentrus nateri are not invincible. They can be killed with direct gunfire, blunt force, or attacks with bladed weapons. Explosives also work in extreme situations, such as when a yacht is destroyed in the first film. In the sequel, chemicals and toxins temporarily weaken them, although their adaptive capacity ensures they always return, stronger and more dangerous than before. Another interesting weakness is their primary instinct. Blood and potential prey attract them almost irresistibly, a factor humans can exploit. A dramatic example of this occurs when Julie uses Derek's body to distract them, allowing Kelly to escape while the creatures devour their victim. The visual design of these piranhas is the work of director Alexander Aya and conceptual artist Neville Page, who sought to create truly terrifying monsters. Page drew inspiration from fossils of ancient piranhas and contemporary aquatic creatures, eels, gars, and sea snakes, to construct a design that was both realistic and monstrous. Starting from the structure of a common piranha, he exaggerated the head and tail, elongated the body, and added eel-like features while maintaining the movements of modern piranhas so that their attacks and locomotion remained believable. The final result is a group of unforgettable, memorable, and terrifying creatures that, although originating from films not always praised by critics, left an indelible mark on modern monster cinema. Pygocentrus nateri not only redefined aquatic horror, but became icons of the genre, combining science, horror, and cinematic design in predators that seem to have emerged from a nightmare made real.